And here we go. Opening week for college football, week number 1 officially has started. It is now rocking and rolling as you are probably listening to this podcast. Welcome to Sports Talk with Hawk. I am pumped. I am excited. This one's going to be a little bit shorter and for good reason. We're simply going to go over what I am looking forward to in both college and the NFL in the season of 2024. What am I excited about? Well, since it's college football tonight, let's look at college football first. Like I said, I know there's a huge disconnect. Some people don't get it, don't like it. It doesn't matter. It's football, baby. I have grown up on it. Like I've said before, my view on college football is simply this. If you don't watch it, you don't know what's coming to the NFL next. The offenses in college are what translate into the NFL. It's really how it happens nowadays. They take a different concept, and I'm going to credit Joel Klatt on this one. His podcast, he was talking about the Michigan Wolverines, the sign stealing drama that is / saga that it has now become. And he was talking about the different ways that you can do, X, Y, Z. You can sign steal in a variety of ways. 2 of them are legal, 1 of them is not. We all sign steal. Fans sign steal. But what happened was the big, and I don't want to sound completely rude, but really, I don't know what happened. Either the quarterbacks got dumber or the concepts got too complicated or coaches were just idiots. The reality is that it has become easier to sign steal because the fact that when you watch a college football game, and by the way, my dad has brought this up. He has brought this up, something he's noticed during the games of why he is like, why even do anything? If he was a defense, he'd be like, just wait till they look over the sideline. When they look over the sideline, you look over to me, I'll tell you which defense we're actually going to run. Until then, just line up, make them think you're blitzing every single time. That way they get into a play that they're thinking it's blitz, blitz, blitz. Because they're not set up for it. And and he's right. The silly you check with me, which is, with 20 seconds, 15 seconds left in the play clock, everybody looks to the sideline to get the audible. And it's easy to steal signs that way compared to even, late 90s, early 2000s, when it was, listen, you're the quarterback. Get us in the right play. Get us in the play we need to be in. Here's the package we're running. Here's your package of plays. You call the best one out of that package to be able to beat the defense. Go. So I don't know what happened. So there is this thing with, the quarterbacks. That's why I believe it's why we've really had a hard time getting great quarterbacks consistently in the draft. Now, some schools are bringing back it's your job, go do it. And that's important. So, even with everything else, understanding what's going on, here's what I am absolutely pumped for in 2024, starting with college football. Number 1, I am very excited about the college football realignment. Number 1, it gave more schools the opportunity to jump up to Division 1. That's first of all. Second of all, I believe it's going to give a better product on the field. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you guys remember, I did my college football episode, and I told you the Big 12 to me is going to be the most exciting conference to watch because the teams are so evenly matched. It's not going to be bad football. It's going to be competitive, good football. Not great, good football. Football that you can watch believing that these are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids playing football and doing it better than you and I do it. That's what it is. You will be able to believe all that. I believe it brings out the best aspects of the game. The conferences, I believe, are aligned well now. Not geographically, but as far as for what each conference wants. And Kirk Herbstreit really brought this out. You know, conferences have different agendas. The ACC wants to be the smart conference. So what do? They go get Cal. They go get California and they get Stanford and bring them into the ACC, an Atlantic Coastal Conference gets to West Coast California colleges. Why? They're smart. They want to win academics. They've got Duke in North Carolina, and they've got Syracuse. It matters to them what their academics are like. Conferences have agendas, and that's what makes college football great. The quote-unquote nerdy schools can have a good football team. It's just the way it is, and it works. It gives everybody a chance to be able to play this beautiful game. So number one, I am really excited about conference realignment. I believe it's going to absolutely help. The second thing I'm excited for is the new TV contracts that will put different teams in front of people again. For years, the SEC has been on CBS. It's now on ESPN. ESPN majorly was ACC. Notre Dame is going to be expanded a little bit. They've got their own network. But the Big Ten's now on CBS. The Big 12 and the Big 12 has Fox, which I think makes a ton of sense for them. The games won't be as late, but their late game, Arizona and Arizona State or Utah, can still be their quote-unquote late game. I love the way it's set up. I love how the new TV schedules, the TV broadcasts will be able to play out. It works. It makes sense. I love the fact that these schools got money. You had to pay to get them. I understand that. But I love how it all played out. So I'm excited for different teams to get in front of different eyes, for people to watch different teams. I believe viewership will be up this year, if for nothing else, just because of the intrigue of I'm not normally watching this team. And it works. All right, the third thing, the third thing I am most excited about when it comes to this in college football this year, honestly, is the landscape of students as the rules continue to change. NCAA made a stupid proposal. It's the right proposal, just the wrong one. They made a proposal this week to get rid of the spring transfer window. That's the wrong transfer window. You need to get rid of the one that's in the end of the year. The one that's in December, you need to get rid of. The one in spring is okay. You need to get rid of the one that's in the middle of all the bowl games, which are making bowl games obsolete, no fun to watch, and even big time schools losing players. You're going to force the big time schools to lose players because they know they don't have a second transfer window. So I'm hoping that gets revised. I'm hoping they take away the winter transfer window, leave the spring. It will bring better college football at the end of the year. We're into NFL at that point anyway. But you know what? For those kids, and this is what the focus continually has to be, for those kids, they're not necessarily me growing up. I always dreamed of playing in a bowl game. I didn't care whether it was the Holiday Bowl, the Alamo Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I didn't care if it was the Orange Bowl, the Armed Forces Bowl. It didn't matter. I dreamed of playing in a bowl game because there's a legitimate trophy your school gets. There's something that's there. You get something for it. And that has always been my feeling. Now, the exact same thing, these kids watched bowl games when they were younger that actually mattered. Now, yeah, now, not so much. Now unfortunately it's a mess, and it's a whole different ball game. It really is. So here's the three things. Once again, run over them really fast. So number one, I'm excited for the conference realignment. Number two, I'm excited for the TV realignment, the different teams getting in front of different eyes. And then number three, I'm simply excited for how everything is going to go about when it comes to the landscape that is changing ever so slightly. That's what I'm excited about for college football this year. All right, the NFL. NFL. What am I excited about most for the NFL season of 2024? Number one thing I'm excited about, the potential to have all of these amazing quarterback matchups. Last year, we got robbed. 67 starting quarterbacks last year. 67. A lot of primetime games, which we have to be honest, this year, the schedulers really tried to make primetime a focus. And if these quarterbacks get injured, those games really drop in value and, just the allure of them. Backup quarterbacks don't bring as much allure. Now, if you're the Falcons, the backup quarterback brings a lot of allure because it's your rookie that you drafted. So there is that. But there's an aspect to this that we want to see the main guys. Will we get to see two Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson matchups? Will we get to see Deshaun Watson, who, whether you believe he's really a good / decent / okay, whatever quarterback he is, he's getting paid a ton of money, so he should be a focal point for what happens. Are we going to get to Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen matches? Are we going to get all these? Are we going to get Justin Herbert versus Patrick Mahomes twice? Justin Herbert versus Bo Nix twice? Patrick Mahomes versus Bo Nix twice? Like, are we going to get the matchups that we want to see? Are we going to get to see these young quarterbacks? Do all these young quarterbacks stay healthy? My number one thing I'm excited about is the potential that we have for the matchups in 2024. I'm hoping it's a reset. I'm hoping last year was the fluke. Like, this is exactly what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this is where everything can start afresh. We get everybody back on the field playing, and we get what we want to see. That's number one. Number two, I'm excited for the parity that is going to hopefully level out. Now, if you look at my first standings prediction, which yesterday was number one, tomorrow, Friday night, will be the second edition of that, of which I will release. I'll have a link in the description tomorrow with tomorrow's podcast for the site that I use. That way you guys can play around with it as well, but kind of see, what the different matchups are and whatnot. Tomorrow is number two, and then on Wednesday, next Wednesday, will be the final one before opening day on Thursday. But the reality is the parity has been so it's been kind of been lopsided. We've always had a seemingly more domineering conference, but it's never been as bad as it has been the last few years. And we've been waiting for it to kind of shift back. The Bears have been bad. The Cardinals haven't been good. The Panthers have been bad. And the Falcons kept going back and forth, and the Falcons didn't end up being very good. The Saints and the Buccaneers were, even the last year of Tom Brady, middle of the road at best. Like, that's just where you were at. The Giants haven't been able to be good outside the 1 year that, Dable gets Daniel Jones to the playoffs. Washington, been a mess for a long time. So as you see everything shift around, like, this should be relatively competitive. We got the Lions, who are actually a legitimate team this year, who are a legitimate threat. You'd think, well, if the Lions are good, that means the NFC has got to have some power behind it now. No. Outrageously weak, outrageously bad. And my first predictions, Saints being bad, Giants being bad, the Cardinals and Seahawks not really being that great. The Panthers, I believe 5 wins in this year for Dave Canales. I believe if he wins 5 games and they're competitive post-Thanksgiving, and I mean just flat out competitive, you're the scrappy team that nobody wants to play because you're actually going to have to try, and you're going to have to output more energy than you really want to. That's what my expectation is for Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers. If that's the case, a 5-win, 5-12 season, I believe is a success. Stepping stones, building blocks. They don't have all the pieces they need to truly be a effective team. Jonathan Brooks is starting out injured. I believe there's way too much money still tied up in the running back field. Like, it's not the greatest yet. You got some receivers. Hopefully you've got a quarterback that is Tua Tagovailoa-esque. I hope that's what he is. Because if he is accurate, he can get you, he can keep you in the game. And that's what matters. So I'm looking forward to the parity in the NFL hopefully leveling out. Having more than just 1 or 2 teams. We were thinking last year at one point, we thought last year the NFC was going to have 2 until the Packers started winning. We were thinking the NFC may have 2 teams underneath 500 make the wild card spots. Like, it was bad. Hopefully this year that's not the case. I do think that the wild card teams actually stumbled down the end of the season. But, if the Cowboys and Washington, Tampa Bay, if somehow the Seahawks or the Cardinals, if they can get to 9 wins, making it a little bit more effective. I mean, the 49ers and the Packers, which are two of my wild card teams, the 49ers and the Packers, I believe both are going to get 11 or more wins. I got the 49ers and Packers, I believe, both getting 12 and not winning their division. Like, that's actually what I have. Like, they're both going to win 12, and neither one of them are going to win their division. Now, because of that, you then only have one wild card spot for the rest. So is the rest of the NFC just going to be bad? Are we looking at a bunch of 7-win teams and only one, maybe 2 teams fighting for that final wild card spot? That's no fun. So hopefully the parity in the NFC is a little bit better. Now, with the AFC, it's quarterback dependent. If the quarterbacks are healthy, doggone, good luck making the playoffs in the AFC. Good luck making the playoffs. And, the way that it is set up, you got to win. We all know this. You got to win. Well, good luck. If all those quarterbacks are healthy, any one of those teams can absolutely switch around what they do. Absolutely. You could have almost every team in the AFC playoffs win 11 games because it can be outrageously competitive. Super, super, super competitive. And if it's that competitive, that's good football. That is good football. All right. So, what is the third and final thing I am excited for this year, I should say? What is the third and final thing that I am excited about in the 2024 season in the NFL? I'm excited for this rookie class. I am. I am excited for this rookie class. I believe this rookie class is going to be very good. I believe this rookie class will be one of the best that we've had in a while. And I'm talking top to bottom. Offense, defense, receivers, corners, defensive line, offensive line, quarterbacks. I believe this is going to be a great draft. We will look back at the 2024 NFL draft and go, that was one heck of a draft. And look at the multiple all-star, all-pro players that came out of this draft. Hall of Famers, I don't know. I believe Hall of Famers should be a little bit less than what they are. I do not throw around the Hall of Fame tag just willy-nilly. I don't do that. I believe being a Hall of Fame player needs to matter a little bit more. I believe we will have 5 to 7 Hall of Famers out of this group easily. And then I believe you're going to have a bunch of players that you just look at and go, doggone it, they were good. They were good at what they did. They were good teammates, good players, and you loved having them on your team. That's what I'm excited about. I want to watch this rookie class. I want to see this rookie class perform. I want to see what they can do. I mean, the reality is, it's set up the way that it is, and sometimes we get busts of drafts. Sometimes they're just bad. That's the reality. Sometimes they're just bad. Other times they're really good. And I am hoping that this year is going to be one of those years that they are really, really good, and that we get to just watch young football players play hard, and that it makes some great football games. Looking at the Rams. I mean, shoot, I'm even looking at the Vikings. I'm not high on the Vikings. I like Kevin O'Connell as a coach, but, I am not going to put faith in Sam Darnold. I'm not going to do it. So, because of that, I can't say that I believe the Vikings are going to do anything more than maybe win 6 games. Like, I really believe that's their, in a sense, their top. I don't think Darnold can do much, even with Kevin O'Connell. But Dallas Turner, the rookie, the way that they're going to be able to play, if he's exciting on defense, you're going to want to watch the Vikings, just like Micah Parsons is for the Cowboys. You're going to want to watch just because it's exciting. And that is what I am looking forward to this year. All right, guys. College football is going on right now. The NFL is officially 1 week away from opening night. Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. Tomorrow, going to do round 2. I'll post the link in the description for you to be able to follow along as I do the second draft of how I believe the standings will shake out after everything has kind of, played out. Like today, Russell Wilson got named starting quarterback for the opening part of the season for the Steelers, and I don't think they're going to win a game with Russell Wilson. I don't think he has the ability to. I think he's done. So, Steelers, unfortunately, if Justin Fields started, I'd potentially have reason to believe other things could happen. Russell Wilson, not a chance. So, draft number 2 will be tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. One more day before the weekend. Happy Friday. Have a great day at work tomorrow as we head into the weekend. Appreciate you guys listening. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, ring that notification bell. That way you get notified every time a podcast goes live. Thank you so much, everyone, for Sports Talk with Hawk. I'm Hawk, and I'm out.